really, really excited for a big night tonight, Penn State versus Minnesota. First, let's introduce ourselves. My name's Caitlin Rayon. I was a Gopher gymnast.
And I'm Jenny Lang, and I was a Gopher gymnast as well, and from 2012 to 2015. What were your years, Caitlin?
Oh boy, 2013 to 2017.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we're excited to be back here in the pavilion, watching both of these Big Ten teams. It should be quite a matchup tonight. A little bit about what these teams have started off the season with so far. Minnesota had a great last meet back at the Wasatch Classic. That was against UCLA, Washington, and Boise State, and posted a 196.325. One of the highlights of the meet is freshman Soraya Johnson was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week this week after that meet, scoring a 39.35 her first time in the all-around this season. Very impressive.
Big week for this freshman. And moving over to Penn State, they also had a great meet last week, hitting their first 196 even for this season against LIU, Penn, and SCSU. They are currently ranked 29th as a team in the country.
And the Gophers are ranked 16th.
So very good matchup. Big Ten matchups are always really fun to watch. The teams go against each other head-to-head, preseason, and then you can see them as they progress to postseason.
Yeah, and we're still really early in the season, so this is the first Big Ten matchup for both of these teams. How the Big Ten this season normally works is they compete against 5 of the 10 teams around the conference, and then they, in dual meets, and then the 5 teams they haven't visited so far, they compete at the Big 5 meet, which happens right before the Big Ten Conference Championships. And that's where they get to meet the other 5 teams, and that is the deciding factor in who wins the Big Ten regular season champion.
And the first section and second section of the meet, correct?
Right, yeah, how people get seeded into the Big Ten
So each of those meets are very important for each team to do their best, so then they can have a good showing to be in that later session, because that's the session you want to be in.
Right, right.
So kind of talking about a dual style meet, we're going to have the Gophers start on vault, and the Nittany Lions will start on bars, and then once they're done, they will switch, and then Gophers will go to beam, and Penn State will start on floor, and then they'll switch again.
Yeah, and this is a great live stream tonight, because you'll get to see every single routine.
Yes.
Which is one of the perks of a dual meet. And so each gymnast really gets the spotlight, and you'll be able to switch off on each of the events. Really excited to see the lineups each of these teams are posting on their first event. Just to go over the vault lineup expected for the Gophers, we have Soraya Johnson, that standout freshman we talked about a little bit earlier. Sarah Mora, another freshman, Hallie Remlinger, Gianna Gertis, Maddie Quarles, and anchoring Maya Hooten. And we have a few exhibition spots at this meet as well. So each team might put up 1 to 2 gymnasts per event to get some extra practice. Even though their score doesn't count in the lineup, it's great to have them out there, especially this early in the season.
Exactly. And moving over to bars for Penn State, we have Jessie Johansson, Maddie Johnson, Elena Viroja, Gabby Galente, Ava Piedrahita, and Cassidy Rushlow with an exhibition of Bella Romanano.
Two of the names that you heard in the Gopher vault lineup, Hallie Remlinger and Maya Hooten, are Big Ten gymnasts were named Big Ten gymnasts to watch this season. And they really have proven that the first 2 meets, or I should say inter squad, and the first meet, they both outstanding in the events that they compete. Great lines, great power.
Great consistency, you know.
Right.
Now that they've upped the start value for a 1.5 to be that 10-0 start value, it's really important that those girls look for those landings and try to save that every single 10. So that's awesome that they can come week after week, hit that 1.5, and just score high for the Gophers. And moving over to bars, Penn State had a really great week last week when they scored over a 49, which is that golden score that everybody's shooting for. The top 5 scores count. And so they had season best from Cassidy Rushlow with a 9.9. And then another career high with a 9.85 from Keidra Rita. So also some great stuff to look forward to over on bars.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. Each team right now is just in their 4-minute touch period. So they warmed up all these events before the meet began. And then after the march-in, each team gets 4 minutes. That means normally 1 turn per gymnast, just to get comfortable again, get a little bit warmed up, feel the equipment.
Reacclimate themselves with the arena and the event that they're on. And get ready to give us a nice show.
Just saw a very impressive dismount there. Full twisting double layout.
Love to see that high-level gymnastics, especially how well that was done. So excited to see that in the routine.
Hey, Section 5, you amped up tonight?
And we got a big crowd here tonight in the Maturi Pavilion. A lot of club gymnasts came to watch. Almost filled. It's really impressive how much the attendance has grown here at the University of Minnesota. It's a fun place to compete.
Jenny Hansen, in her 9th season, has done a really good job of growing the gymnastics fans. You know, this is a gymnastics state, Minnesota. We really love gymnastics here. So it's really nice to see that club scene coming in and supporting the collegiate scene.
Mm-hmm. And here we get a shot of Soraya Johnson. Like we mentioned earlier, Soraya was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week, which is a huge honor. There's 10 teams in the Big Ten and a big incoming freshman class from a lot of these teams. And she really did have a standout performance.
Sorry to interrupt you, Caitlin. It's amazing to see her have such a great showing and a splash in her first couple of meets as a freshman. So she's going to have a great career here at Minnesota, and we're just excited to see.
Minnesota actually welcomed 4 new freshmen this year. Brooklyn Rowray, Megan Steensland, Sarah Mora, and Soraya Johnson. So they're looking to make a big impact in the events that they are a part of. And a lot of them have come into this lineup, which is a huge honor, especially as a freshman, to be able to get a spot in that lineup, even though Minnesota has a lot of senior leadership on the team. So very exciting, and
Very
excited to see the consistency.
Group of freshmen,
Yeah.
Very impressive class.
And this touch period has just about wrapped up. Each team's going into their huddles, last few words, and getting ready to start the night off.
And talking about newcomers, Penn State also has 5 gymnasts that they added to their roster this season. They have Hearing freshman and fellow freshman Gable, Keidra and Katie Leary. So another exciting, strong freshman class. It's amazing to see how gymnastics and the gymnasts are getting so much stronger as they come into the collegiate scene. So that's just speaking to gymnastics progressing, and the gymnasts are just getting so much stronger, in my opinion. And let's take a look at this freshman.
Wow. Sky high.
Huge Yurchenko full, laid out position. And I want to take a look at that replay. I couldn't see the landing. I want to see if
Just a small hop.
small hop.
Yeah.
So that will be a really good score, leadoff score for the Gophers.
Yeah.
They're going to be happy with that.
Take a look at that one more time. You see that her body is straight in the air, feet together, just a slight hop.
Slightest scoop.
Yeah.
And she'll definitely hone that in.
That's great.
So now we're jumping over to bars for Penn State with Jessie Johansson. Looking to finish this routine up strong. She had a beautiful cast of handstand, perfectly over the bar.
Nice.
Huge double layout, slight leg separation on that. We had an angle where we could see it, so the judges might not be able to see that, so it'll be interesting to see if they deduct for that. But a really good, strong start for Penn State over on bars.
Yeah, very great. And we're going to head back over to the vault with Sarah Mora, another freshman for the Gophers.
Put your hands together for Sarah Mora.
I think we'll see another Yurchenko full from Sarah.
Another beautiful vault from the Gophers. I love how her block, you can see her rise before she even started twisting. She did have to take that slight step back, so that will be a deduction, but that was a beautiful vault.
Beautiful. Sarah's season average so far on vault is a 9.8, so I think that will match that.
And when she hones in on that landing, it's gonna be a high scoring routine for the Gophers.
And now we're with Maddie Johnston on the bars.
Next up for Penn State, Maddie Johnston.
Apologies. This is Maddie Johnston. And a great release move. Nice transition down to the low bar. Just slightly short on that last handstand.
Great start for Penn State.
Yeah, great landing.
It looks like she did have to shuffle one of her feet back, so that might be a deduction. Otherwise, it was a very strong routine. Great swings, great rhythm throughout. They're off to a good start over on that event.
And we're backward to vault with Hallie Remlinger.
This is the first 10-0 vault we're going to see from the Gophers today. Huge distance. She did have to take a slight step on that, and you did get a good shot of those lines that are on the mat, so that is new this year. It just helps the judges see if the athlete went straight off the table or if they went a little or twisted a little early on the table and were a little crooked, so that will help them determine the scores between each athlete. So she was straight down like an arrow, just had to take that step. Heading back over to bars with Elena Viroha. Looks like coach has given her a last few tips right before she does that event. That was some of my favorite conversations. You know, these athletes are with the coaches day in and day out. They get to know them really well. So having that pep talk right before you compete is really awesome.
And really stacked that giant half. Great straddle Jaeger.
Smooth transition to the low bar with an overshoot to handstand.
Just short on that last handstand, but caught that full.
She fought that well.
Yeah.
It was difficult to see with the angle that we're at, but when she came over, her heels were behind her, so then she had to kind of save it to get over on the right side of the bar. She did a very good job recovering on that and finished strong.
Yeah, that was great. And sees that scoop right into the double back.
Beautiful finish.
And we're here with Gianna Gertis on vault. Wow, sky high. That was great.
Beautiful vault. This is the second 10-0 start value vault for the Gophers. This one was in a laid out position. And again, that slight step. Let's take a look at it. Powerful coming down the runway. huge block, beautiful form throughout.
Yeah.
And really was spotting that landing.
Really good shoulder angle on the table. The gymnasts want to enter at an angle and have their shoulders open, not have any closeness. Like try to explain it, but so they get the maximum amount of pop off the table and at the right angle, so they land straight up versus landing short or over rotating.
Correct. And the judges will look for that as well. That's something that they keen in on, is that shoulder angle when they hit the table, the vault table. And we're headed back over to bars for Gabby Galentine. Taking a look at the scores here for Penn State, consistent with 9.75 for the first two athletes. Beautiful handstands to Shaposh to Pack. I love that combination.
Me too.
She's very floaty on that. I love when athletes do that. Very light and airy on the bar. And gearing up for that huge dismount.
Beautiful.
Oh, she had to take that step on that. Oh, I love that dismount. It's so difficult, and to finish with that is amazing.
Yeah, gymnasts really take a risk doing that dismount because a lot of them, you get the same amount of points for doing a double layout, but she decides to add on that extra difficulty, does it beautifully, and hopefully is rewarded for that. Now we're back over to vault with Maddie Quarles. Maddie was a huge 1.5. Great landing.
They are on a roll over here. She is their fifth-year senior.
Let's watch that one more time.
Talking about that block on the table, you can see she was at that right angle, comes around and spots it. She had to take that little hop, but that's gonna be a good score for the Gophers.
What's great is that she had to take the hop, but then showed control right after that. So she didn't have to fall into her salute. She was able to maintain stability and show the judges that she had that control over the vault.
Every little thing matters when it comes to college gymnastics, so saving every single tenth. And she knows that as a senior, as a veteran. And it looks like they're just readjusting the bars over there, making sure they're nice and tight for their next athlete. Ava Peterita. It's a bit of a science to get the bars in the right alignment. Fellow gymnasts will know that it takes teamwork to definitely get it up and get it right. So you see her pit crew over here helping her, making sure the bars are all set for her.
And every gymnast wants it as tight as possible.
Yes, there's some that want it looser. It just depends. But yeah, I wanted my bars very
I wanted
tight.
it very tight. A lot of meets, you'll see what we call them water bars. These bars are chained to the floor. Water bars are a little bit looser, and you just have to adjust how you normally swing. Nice release move. Her swing is horizontal with the bar, which is what the judges are looking for. And stack that pivot turn, just a slight form break.
Huge dismount.
Nice.
The slightest step on that landing. You can definitely hone in on that and stop that slide, because that's just a simple tenth that she could have fought to save. But that's another strong routine for Penn State.
Yeah. Her season top performance so far is a 9.85, so we'll see if that
Very close
matches
to that, yeah.
And our anchor on vault, Maya Hooten. That was great.
Maya Hooten, doing Maya Hooten things.
Yeah.
Just Kirchenko, 1.5, slight hop. She's consistent. She's great. Let's take a look at that replay. See that beautiful angle she came in. You can see she's really spotting that landing and fought with her toes. You see her all the way on her tippy toes, fighting for that.
Next up for Penn State, the bars,
we're taking a look at Cassidy Rushlow. She had her season high best of a 9.9 last week, so let's see if she can replicate it here.
Really beautiful lines and toe point.
Her toe point is gorgeous.
I love how floaty she made that Jaeger. Just a touch short on that last handstand. Let's see if she can get this landing.
Chest was slightly low on that, so they probably will deduct on that, but a very strong finish.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Great performance from both teams' anchors.
Take a look at that dismount again. Gearing up, getting that power for this difficult dismount. You can kind of see with this angle, her chest was low, so they will deduct. Now we just got the last bit of exhibition.
That was a great vault from Lauren Pearl. Really nice shape in the air, honed in on that landing. It was only a full, but she performed it beautifully.
Exactly. And taking a look at Minnesota's scores, it looks like their event total with a 49.250, which is a great start. You want to hit that 49, so good start for them on vault.
Yeah, those last two 9.9s were amazing. And we're just waiting for that final score to come in from Penn State to see what their team score is on the bars. In the meantime, we will see Bella Romignano. I'm sorry for the pause, Bella. I wanted to make sure I said that right. And straight into her release move. I've seen a lot of those Spashnikovas to pack combinations
They
today.
like that combination over at Penn State, and they all do it so well. Powerful Giants to a double layout. She did have to take a slight step, so that will be a deduction, but a really strong routine for this exhibition. That just shows the depth that each of these teams has. Their exhibitions are ready to go in at a moment's notice.
Yes.
And so early in the season, that's great to see. And it looks like the scores are in. Penn State with a 48.950. And taking a look at the scores there, a really good start for them.
Yeah, just shy of that 49 mark, so still a really tight meet here at the Sports Pavilion between these two Big Ten teams. We're gonna watch one more vault before we move on to the second rotation. Very nice Yurchenko full from Kate Grotenhouse.
Another one of those Yurchenko fulls, so it does start at a 9.95. Both teams. The teams will be moving. The Gophers will transition over to the uneven bars, and Penn State will come over to vault.
Yeah, we'll just do a little flip-flop and see what each team has in their second rotation. We're gonna take a quick break before getting back on the mic for second rotation, so stay tuned. Welcome back, gymnastics fans. We are ready to get kicked off with our second rotation. You see it's a tight meet so far, a 49-25, and it looks like Penn State's team score on vault, or on bars, sorry, got adjusted to a 49 flat.
And looking at Penn State over on vault, they have a lot of things to look forward to. Last week they scored a 49 even on this event with Ava Peterita and Isabella Salcido both posting a 9.850 on this event. So excited to see, and that was some personal bests over there. So excited to see them vault over here.
The Gophers haven't yet posted a 49 on the uneven bars, so they're hoping to do that tonight. Great rotation in the works with Soraya Johnson, Gianna Gertis, Marissa Jenks, Hallie Remlinger, Tiari Salas, and finishing up with Maya Hooten.
And Penn State over on vault, we have Elena Viroja, Maddie Johnston, Amani Hearing, Ava Peterita, and Jessie Johansson, with exhibitions from Isabella Salcido and Cassidy Rushho.
Yeah, we just have 10 more seconds left in this time rotation. What the fans really want to be looking for on these events, on the vault, that open shoulder angle on the vault that we talked about earlier, really great shape in the air, no pikiness, just a tight belly and a straight line, and then of course honing in on that landing.
Honing in. And moving back to bars, you want to see those handstands all the way to vertical, dynamic swinging, huge release moves, and then of course looking for that landing and that beautiful college stick.
Yes, really showing off the landing.
First up for Penn State on vault, Elena Virova.
And we have Elena Virova. Elena scored a 9.725 at the Keystone Classic. That is her season top performance so far.
Let's see if she can replicate that here. And so a different type of vault that we've seen, so is a front entry vault, a handspring front pike, very difficult. Looked like a slight hop on that landing, so there will be a deduction, but her form throughout was gorgeous.
Yeah, really, really great shape in the air.
Great block, great height, and even good distance.
It does start at a 9.9, so I think we should expect to see somewhere in the 9.75, 9.8 range. And freshman Soraya Johnson getting the Gophers kicked off on bars.
Good transition from high to low.
Didn't quite stack that handstand in her transition down to low bar, but a beautiful second half of the routine.
Yes, I love her sculptor and front half.
Yeah, I love that combination.
Very unique, and she does it so well.
And Jenny and I were talking about this in the warm-ups, but if you watch her dismount, she actually flings that straight up. And a lot of people who perform that dismount get a lot of distance, and she gets the right amount of distance, but also a huge amount of height.
Correct. And we're taking a look at Maddie Johnson with a huge Yurchenko laid out full.
That was solid.
Great vault from her. Beautiful form throughout. Let's take a look at that replay.
And she hones in on this landing really nicely.
Nice block. Slightly piked down.
Yeah, just
but
the
that
smallest amount.
Yes, very small, great landing, and it looks like she earned the Nittany Lion ears.
You'll see Maddie in all 4 events tonight. So far, her season best is that 39.15.
And she's on her way to replicate that tonight.
And second up on bars for the Gophers, Gianna Gertis. You will also see Gianna in all 4 events tonight. She's been a really strong all-arounder for the Gophers this season.
It's going to be a tight all-around race with these
I know.
last couple athletes that have just been competing.
Gianna's season best so far is a 9.875, so really high score. Just hoping to meet or beat that tonight. Very floaty. Nice transition down the low bar. That shoot over. Slightly short on that last handstand.
Huge dismount and a little shuffle
But
on
great
that landing,
dismount.
But a good routine.
Next up on vault, Penn State, Amani Herring.
And back over to vault, we have Amani Hearing. Very nice vault from her. Another Yurchenko full. She did look for that landing. I like how she was fighting for it. She did have to take that little shuffle back, so that will be a deduction, but another strong vault. And she earns the ears, the lion ears.
I'm not sure what the ears mean, but I like them.
I like them too.
They're cute.
Next up on bars.
Amani's season high so far is a 9.8. I think that score should be around there.
And we're going to take a look at Marisa Jinks for the Golden Gophers.
A little short on that first handstand.
A little close on that release move, but she kept it moving. A little short on that last handstand, but gearing up to finish strong here.
Beautiful.
Stuck dismount. Love that double layout. Great form, stuck it, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. She really just floated that and then just parked it.
Yeah, she did. I
Yeah.
like that.
That was great.
All right, taking a look
Next
at
up on
Ava
vault for Penn State,
Hida.
Hida.
She had that 9.85 last week, so we want to see her replicate that here tonight.
Really nice half on, great
That
landing.
was gorgeous. She parked it.
Parked it. That was great.
Very difficult, so it's a different vault than we've seen. So it is that round off entry, but then just that half on front hike off. Let's take a look.
A really technical vault. You need to make sure that you twist fast enough to get a good shoulder angle on the horse and get enough height to be able to do that front pike with straight legs
Yes, and she
and
strayed
enough time for the landing.
within those lines that we kind of talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So she did that technically sound, got great height on that, and then stuck her landing.
Very nice.
I think she's going to beat her last week's score. I think it's going to go higher.
And this Big Ten gymnast to watch, Hallie Remlinger. Good first handstand, huge release move.
A little short on that overshoot if I'm being super duper picky. They might give her a deduction there. But then finishes it strong with that huge dismount.
Great
They
landing.
are on fire over there. They're parking it. They're sticking it. Love it. Building that momentum.
Yeah. Both teams, I think, have a little bit more work on in the handstand department, but of course, it is early in the season.
So early. They'll hone
Beautiful
in on that.
dismount, though. I love how
She's
high.
excited about that.
Yeah, love how high she gets that dismount. She does basically a flip and a half before she even gets past the high bar.
And taking a look at Jess Johansson, she was a little under-rotated and did have to sit back, so that will count as a fall. But you know that's not what she's used to. She's definitely able to perform that vault better than what we saw today, so they'll just get back in the gym, focus in. But that's really great for her to go after that 10-0 start value. It's important to have those high-level 10-0 starts on the team. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, she didn't have it today, but she'll definitely work on it and get it back to next week.
Next up on bars, Tiare.
And coach is giving a little talking to. Hopefully, Isabella Salcido can anchor that Penn State vault lineup so she doesn't have to call without fall. But back over to the bars, Tiare Salas. And straight into that shoot over. Does a great release move here with the Kukina. Gets lined up with that blind half. Beautiful. Perfect handstand.
That was so awesome. Got the dismount. They are doing amazing things over there on bars. Getting excited.
That was great.
It was like an exclamation point and a pause on top of the bar after her release, and it was like, hey, I'm here. You see that?
Yeah. That is the way to do a handstand.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then let's take a look at that huge dismount. Legs together. Oh, slightly as she's coming around, but the judges won't see that because we're at that unique angle over here, but she's excited. I love
Beautiful.
it. And taking a look at the last vaulter for Penn State.
Love
Beautiful.
it. That was great.
Isabella Salcido. So they will not have to count that fall. That is great for Penn State over there. And another one of those difficult round off, half, front pike off vaults. So let's take a look at it.
Just a little leg separation as she's going into that half turn. I wonder if the judges will be able to see that at their angle. Of course, they are sitting on the sides of the event. So sometimes when we say their legs were apart, they do look together for the judges. So we'll see if they take that.
A way to wrap up vault over here for Penn State.
And just tallying in these final scores on the vault. One more competitor on the bars, Maya Hooten.
Watch this release move. Beautiful. Pike Jaeger to immediate overshoot. To shoot over, I guess.
Wow.
Yes, what a great anchor routine. Huge swing, huge release moves. I saw barely any form deductions.
Me
That's
neither.
going to be a high-scoring routine for the Golden Gophers. Let's take a look at that dismount here. I love how powerful she is in her swing.
Yeah.
She's really working the bars, making sure all of her skills are huge and amazing and gorgeous, and then sticks them. She's like cat-like reflexes. She just lands it every time. And we're taking a look at an exhibition for Penn State. Cassidy chow. A beautiful Yurchenko full. I loved her body throughout there. She did slide back a little, but
Yeah.
great exhibition vault for Penn State.
And as we said, Penn State will get to drop that 9.15, so that will end them at a 48.925. Great team score for Penn State on vault. And Minnesota is still waiting for that final score. Looks like it was big with a 9.925 from Maya Hooten. Once that gets tallied in, we'll see what that team bar score is. For that, we get to see Maya Alberton. Unfortunately, really went after that handstand, which is great, but had a fall on that first handstand in her routine, so that'll be a 5/10 deduction.
So right now, she will get 30 seconds to chalk back up, talk to coach, figure out where they need to restart the routine. You know, she was in the beginning of her routine, so she will have to redo that skill and start her routine.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's all of it.
Yep.
So but she's able to regroup. Great Ginger. Really nice shoot over.
Gorgeous routine. You know, she did have that fall in the beginning, so there will be that 5/10 deduction, but her Ginger, whoa, it was huge, and she kept her legs together the whole time. She had gorgeous form throughout. And then actually that shoot over, it looked like she almost overshot it because she had so much power. But, you know, she knows what she's doing and saved that routine and finished strong. So, you know, get back in the gym, work on it. That's another strong routine to have in your back pocket for Coach Hansen to put into that lineup.
It is going to be a tough lineup to crack through, though, with a 49.325. That's about 4/10 higher than their bar scores that they've put up this season. So
great night for Gophers on bars.
Great night. We'll see one more routine with Mallory Laneef. Clear hip to handstand. Nice to Kachev. Looks like she got a little caught up on that shoot over.
And it looked like her hand almost kind of slipped there, but she's doing a really good job recovering. Gearing up for that dismount, and we'll take a slight step, but a good routine. Another great round of gymnastics here in the Maturi Pavilion.
Both teams, great second rotation. Penn State was just shy of their vault season high, which was a 49 at the last meet. And they got that 48.925, so just 3/4 of a tenth off, but very strong showing. Gophers really blew it out of the water with their second rotation with that 49.325. That best their 48.9 at their first meet out. So still making those improvements meet by meet. We're going to move on to the beam and floor portion of the night. Penn State's going to kick it off on floor, and the Gophers will start their third rotation on the beam. We're not done. Stay tuned. Welcome back, gymnastics fans. We're headed into our third rotation. About a minute and a half left in the touch warm-up. On the beam for Minnesota, you'll see some newcomers. Soraya Johnson, that freshman. You'll also see Brooklyn Rowray, fifth up, and Sarah Mora anchoring the beam, which is a great for the Minnesota beam lineup to have three freshmen in there. especially so late in the lineup. Some big talent on this event.
Yes, exactly. Talking about this strong freshman class coming in for the Gophers. And heading over to floor, Penn State. Something to look forward to is Armani Fearing last meet had a 9.85, and it was her first meet as a freshman. So big scores over there, something to look forward to. And another highlight that we can look for is Jessica Johansson. So big scores over there, big scorers over there for Penn State on floor.
As the viewer, of course, what you should be looking for on floor is huge tumbling, some great form in the air, and really honing in on those landings. Each gymnast normally just lunges out of their passes, and that is no deduction as long as they have control of the pass, which is the key thing on floor. And then, of course, that 180 split on that straddle or split leaps, or child jumps and split leaps.
And then talking about the choreography, showcasing the students' strengths, student-athlete strengths and personality, and just showing it off here.
Yeah. Floor is such a fun event to compete, especially in front of a big crowd. Everyone gets
In a home
into
crowd.
it.
They are not home right now, but it is so fun when you have an active crowd like this one. You know, everybody here is a big gymnastics fan, so the Gopher fans will get loud for these Nittany Lions.
Yeah, and Minnesota is really welcoming to other teams as well. I think it's fun to perform, even if you're the away team.
Yes, they're just gymnastics fans. I love it.
Yeah, Minnesota nice.
It's a real thing. And what are we going to look for over here on beam?
On the beam, of course, no balance checks, no wobbles, that stuck landing on that dismount, and then really keeping the pace in their beam routine. The gymnasts should look confident up there. It looks like they should be performing their skills like they were on the floor. So just that confidence, and of course the 180-degree jumps and leaps. We're gonna get kicked off with Emily Cook. Emily has led off the Gopher beam rotation for the last 2 years, I believe.
She is very good in this leadoff role. Very a solid competitor, consistent, exactly what you want from your leadoff performer.
A really uncharacteristic.
I feel like
Oh yeah, that is very uncharacteristic for Emily. A little short on that series and had to take a fall.
So that will be a 5-10 deduction, and she's moving through this routine nicely. She has a very cool skill here.
Beautiful.
Crossover to the arabesque. So beautiful. Held it extra long today.
Yeah. And a round off 1.5. Stuck landing.
Beautiful. We know she can perform that routine flawlessly. We've seen it time in, time out. Just a little hiccup here, but
Yeah.
So that will put added pressure on the remaining athletes, knowing that they did lead off with a fall, but this is good practice for postseason. So a good opportunity for the Gophers to step up and rise to the challenge.
Yeah. It's good. That extra added pressure. See how the team reacts to it, especially with such a young team.
And we are over on floor with Maddie Johnson. Her debut on floor. She is a big all-arounder for Penn State, so excited to see this floor routine.
And great switch ring. Chest a little bit low on that Rudy. So that is a front handspring laid out with a 1.5 twist.
Doing the little moonwalk there. And gearing up for her third and final pass. Unfortunately, she did have to fall on that. She did a 1.5. It looked like it was supposed to be a layout, but she had to tuck it around. So that will count as a fall, a 5-10 deduction for their leadoff performer.
Yeah, so both teams have let off with the fall. So both teams pretty much in the same position, having more pressure on the other 5 gymnasts to hit their routines. This early in the season, it's honestly great practice.
It is. You know, it's going to show the tenacity of these athletes, and it is great practice for postseason because you have to be ready to compete whatever is happening around you. So good opportunity, again, for these athletes to step up and rise to the occasion.
And gymnastics is a very mentally tough sport. Of course, it's when you get into college, it's a team sport, but it's just you up there. So you have to be able to handle your emotions and do the routine like you know how to do it. And in practice, that's pretty much all we practice, is being able to do your routine under pressure, do it in any circumstance, any type of equipment.
So we'll see their training here today.
Yes. And we have Lauren Pearl second up on beam for the Gophers.
Lauren is a sophomore from Milford, Massachusetts.
And a few more words from Geraldine Stenger. Geraldine is the beam coach for the Gophers.
Requirement that every gymnast has to complete a full turn on the beam. Beautiful series. Back-handing layout, step out. I like how she's taking her time here, really showing every movement, every skill. Nice switch side, very difficult.
Good save on that front aerial.
Very good save.
Another leap pass. Great switch leap to a split jump. Saw that 180-degree split. And going into her dismount now. Back handspring gainer full.
Beautiful dismount. What's tenacity from these underclassmen? They're doing great work. You know, that is a tough position to be there, knowing there's a fall, and you have to get the team back on track. And she did exactly that. Let's take a look at this dismount.
Beautiful.
The team is excited. I love it. And over on the floor, taking a look at Elena Viroha.
And let's see if Elena can get the Nittany Lions back on track.
A huge double tuck.
Huge.
Showing off some fun dance here. On those leaps and getting ready for her second pass. punch, layout to a punch pull. Slight little step on that landing. Taking some deep breaths before her third and final pass, which is a double pike. Very difficult to end with a double pike, and she performed it so well. Great routine. Again, way to come back after that fall. There is so much pressure added on when they're starting off with a fall on that event, so great work.
Turn your face back to me. Make some noise for Soraya Johnson.
Great double pike there at the end. And we'll head back over the beam with Soraya Johnson. Unfortunately, another fall for the Gophers on beam. Fall in that kick over front. I think she has to repeat that skill in order to get credit. That was great.
And solid. It always happens like that. After you fall, it's kind of like this letdown, but then solid. She's going to be solid the rest of this routine. And she has to do that because she knows this score potentially could count towards that team score. So going on high releve, very beautiful. A great beam worker.
Very difficult single D skill there. She performs it great, chest up when she lands. And a lot of power in this dismount. Punch laid out full, very slight foot scoot at the end there. Yeah, that's unfortunate to have another fall, so that means they'll have to count one of those scores.
But Soraya finished really strong, and that's really important to for this freshman to follow through on that routine because she knows that this could potentially count as that score. So good for her, finishing strong, for her team and herself.
Yeah, it happens, and she reacted really well the rest of her routine and got back on track. And she normally has huge scoring potential on that event. She got a 9.875, close to that 9.9 mark on the beam. She's her season best this season, so.
Yes, and we're taking a look at Isabella Salcido over on floor.
Isabella has scored a 9.825 so far this season. Wow.
A very difficult pass.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Double front. That takes so much power.
Not even a front handspring double front.
No.
Punch.
That is so impressive. So you see that backwards movement on that side of the floor, not really on a tumbling pass. So that tells me that she's probably going to be predominantly front tumbling. But you do have to show both forward and backward movement. So that is helping her check off both of those boxes for the requirements. I started that 10-0.
And a great front layout to that front pike. Really floats that front pike.
And that's perfect technique. You want to see that the later flip rise from the first flip.
Yeah.
So great technique on that. That's going to be a great score for Penn State.
And we'll watch this second pass one more time to see that she floats this front pike higher than she does her front full. And Coach loves it.
Pumped. I love it.
And we're back on the beam with Gianna Gertis. Gianna has beautiful lines on this event. got cold that front aerial. Going into her series here. Boom.
She is dialed in. I love to see it. She had that skill where she took her eyes off the beam.
Yeah, great ring jump. Or stag.
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 That's
She
where I was like,
bent
wasn't
her
a
front
ring.
leg.
Yes.
And her back leg was in that
Very
ring
difficult.
position. Going into her dismount. Wow.
Fought for that landing. Way to come back. I love to see that. They're excited about it.
That was probably one of the best routines I've seen her do. Each skill was dialed in. You could tell she was confident.
That's what you want from your upperclassmen. Get
Yes.
the team back on track. They needed it. They wanted it. They got it.
That was great. Gianna's season best so far is at 9.825.
That'll be close.
I think it'll be close to that.
And over on floor, taking a look at Ava Peterita. Starts off with a huge double pike. She did have to take an additional step, so that will be an deduction.
And a nice 1.5 front layout. Control that landing. One more pass here. Takes a lot of endurance in these floor routines, so you see most of the gymnasts do a big deep breath before their last pass. Difficult double back, but performs it really, really nicely.
Great routine from Ava.
That was great.
Coach Sarah Brown is happy with that. She's in her 6th season with the Nittany Lions, and she's pumped.
And the Lioneers are back. I love it. We're back over to be Mrs. Freshman Brooklyn Rowray. And
Staying
she
on
held
that
on.
beam. I like to see her fight for that. That's great. She knows it's important.
Beautiful leap pass that looked effortless. And moving through this routine nicely. I like
her flexibility
Yeah.
there. Love it.
She doesn't need to do that ring kick at all, but just throws it into the dance. Extra pizzazz.
It sets her apart.
Yeah.
Strong routine.
That was great.
And especially from a freshman, what pressure. And she rose to the occasion. Great, great job from her. The coaches are going to be really pleased with that. And over on floor, taking a look at Jessie Johansson. Starts off with a strong double pike. down there. Nice dance. Gearing up for this second pass.
Beautiful. She has an extra half twist in that front layout, which is more unique.
Finish with a strong double tuck. Very difficult, again, to finish with that double flipping pass. She did great.
Her season best so far is that 9.875. We'll see what the judge decide to give her tonight. Chest slightly low on that double back, but not too bad. Penn State has one more competitor to go, and this is the last competitor for the Gophers on beam, freshman Sarah Mora.
Gorgeous backhand spring layout, step out.
Great split three-quarter. Does a good job hitting that 180 split. And does a nice front aerial.
Beautiful, strong routine from the freshmen. They have come to compete tonight.
Yeah.
I have been so impressed with these underclassmen. Let's take a look at this disc now.
Really gets good height off the beam, chest up in the landing. Very small foot scoot. But yeah, to have your last two competitors be freshmen and really deliver like that, very impressive.
Taking a look at the anchor for Penn State, Armani Hearing.
Nice
Very
Arabian.
difficult, yes.
Yeah, did have a big step.
Yeah, what you saw was the judge rose her hand. So what that means is she saw the athlete step out of bounds, so that will be a deduction. And it will depend on how far she stepped out of bounds. I didn't get a good visual, but it kind of looked like she almost stepped completely off the floor. So that will be a more deduction than just stepping out of bounds.
Yeah.
So. Gorgeous leap. So I love that little like trickery down to the ground.
Pulls through that double back at the end. Just a little hiccup on that first pass, but I love that she went for the difficulty. And overall, Penn State, great floor rotation. They'll get to drop that first score of an 8-9.
Let's take a look at that.
One more time.
Oops, this is the double back. So in the slow motion, we could see her feet were slightly flexed, so that will be a deduction if the judges catch it. But strong routine, just working on honing in that Arabian double front. It is early in the season, so they'll hone in on it.
Yeah. And this is Ella Seord in that exhibition spot for the Gophers.
You see that very difficult candlestick, so that is actually a D-level skill, so that counts towards bonus. I just learned that.
I didn't know it was a D.
Yes.
Wow.
So there was a slight stutter there, but she did not
Wow,
show
I'm
it.
impressed that she just stuck that after that mishap with the foot after the back handspring.
Yeah. That's great. It's showing her mental toughness. And there was that stag jump where she takes her eyes off the beam. Very difficult. Slight hike down on that gainer fall off the side, but what a routine.
Yeah,
That was great.
that was great for Ella.
So solid. She's pleased with that.
Really like the embracing the gold today. I like the gold ribbons and the Leo. And you see that team beam score pretty low for the Gophers, that 48.35. So they had to count one of those falls, and then Lauren Pearl with that pretty big balance check in her routine. But you know, it's an uncharacteristic showing on beam. They're normally really strong on this event, so I'm sure next meet, get right back at it.
Exactly.
And Penn State is finished with their exhibition routines. We just have one more routine to go for the Gophers. Before that,
Taking a look at Penn State's score, they finished up with a 48.625, so a good showing for them. They did not have to count their fall, the first athlete that fell, so that's very exciting for them. Amani did have that lower score, so it looks like they did take more for that step out of bounds, so a little bit uncharacteristic for them as a team score as well. So something to just work on when they get back in the gym and fix when they come back and compete next week.
yeah. Cherry Salas is a senior for the Gophers. She's been in and out of the beam lineup her years here. It's a really great presence on beam. Shows off her dance really well. Starts off with a difficult triple series, so you'll see her do back handspring, back layout. A little balance check on the landing.
Very beautiful leap pass. She's over 180 on that switch leap to her side. Gorgeous. And a strong routine.
Very strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our third rotation. We're going to take Penn State up the beam and your Gophers over the floor.
So definitely some uncharacteristic mistakes from both teams on this third rotation, but really impressive how their teammates had their backs, got up there, finished their routines, hit their routines, and able to get their teams back on track. So this early in the season, it's a great practice because stuff happens in the meet and you have to be able to react strongly, and both these teams prove that they're able to do that.
Exactly.
We're gonna take another quick break before we head into our fourth and final rotation. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our fourth and final rotation. Scores are pretty tight going into this fourth rotation. Minnesota with a 146.925 and Penn State with a 146.55.
Both teams are looking to finish strong on their respective events.
When it's this dual meet style, the away team always finishes on beam, which, you know, beam really like makes or breaks a team. Are they able to handle the pressure of that event? And then I really enjoyed ending on beam, mostly because you're really tired by the end of the meet. And I feel like when you're tired, it's easier to compete beam for some reason because you're just out of your head a bit more. You're able to, you don't have as much adrenaline left as you would if you're starting on beam. So hopefully Penn State's in the same boat.
Yeah, I hope that for them. They're gonna do great. They were looking really amazing here in warm-up, just kind of finishing up. And the Gophers are having a floor party over here. All the fans are getting into it, and I love it. We got a big crowd here, so they're gonna go wild for these routines. They are beautifully choreographed. They perform them so well, and then the level of gymnastics that is in these floor routines is just amazing. We're gonna see huge D-level skills, double flipping passes, so
yeah,
a lot of exciting things to come.
Yeah, Minnesota has some big E-passes. You'll see some pull-ins, some front double twists. What you should expect from the floor lineup, starting off Marissa Jenks, Emily Cook, Gianna Gertis, Soraya Johnson, and then finishing off with those two Big Ten gymnasts to watch, Hallie Remlinger and Maya Hooten.
And over for Penn State, we're gonna have Ava Peterita, Jessie Johansson, Haley Gibble, Cassidy Rushlow, Amani Hearing, and Maddie Johnson with exhibitions from Elena Viroja and Bella Romano.
And Sarah Brown just giving a few more words to the team before beam.
Got some little Gopher fans raising the sky, you mom.
That's cute. It's tradition at Gopher meets to sign autographs at the end of the meet. And all the little gymnasts start lining up now. They have a huge line. Oh, yeah, the floor rotation, just the line starts forming. But it's always fun to get the gymnasts involved.
You see Coach getting that beam ready.
Sometimes when it gets too chalky, it gets a little slippery, so.
Making sure it's right for her athletes.
And Ava Peterita getting it kicked off for the Nittany Lions. Fun forward roll. I love this mount.
You don't see that often. That's cool. Very solid backhand swing layout step up. There was a few form breaks in there, so there will be deductions. But that full turn requirement, got to do it. She did it very well.
Really solid side aerial. You see most gymnasts have that series that she did earlier, and then they have that single skill that's typically a front aerial, a side aerial, a kick over front tuck. But there are choices in a beam routine and how the gymnast decides to put theirs together, what skills work for them. That dismount was beautiful, great height, just a little step on that landing.
Solid start for the Nittany Lions. at this mount again. She rose off the beam, and you can see her open up and spot that landing. Great technique.
And Marissa Jenks here on the floor. Difficult punch, double twist. That is extra bonus.
Yes, it is. You see that mat in there? That is just a little extra padding. It's not a deduction. It's just there for the athletes.
And a great 1.5 front layout.
I love the choreography out of that.
Yeah.
Very smart from the choreographer, which I believe is Geraldine,
Yes.
choreographs all the routines. So.
And ends with a punch, Rudy.
Beautiful. She made it all the way around. That's what
Yeah.
you're really looking for. And then her chest was high on that. What a start for the Gophers over on floor.
Great job from that leadoff performer, Marissa Jenks. Each team's really looking for beautiful last pass, looking for consistency from that leadoff performer, and especially on floor, someone to get the crowd engaged, solid landings, get the team off on the right foot.
And taking a look at Jessie Johansson over on the beam.
Solid series. That back handspring layout step out's a pretty common series for college gymnasts, and so what really sets them apart in that is height off the beam and leg form. Nice switch side there.
Take a little step on that landing, but another great routine from Penn State.
Yeah.
They're on a roll over here on beam.
Fans, are you ready? Are you best enough? Give it on your feet. Best enough.
Emily Cook here on floor for the Gophers. You'll also see that front double full from Emily, but she adds that front tuck out of it. Another added difficulty. Ooh. I'm glad she was able to get up from that. That was a bad fall.
And so you see her doing that tumbling pass on the side of the floor, getting that backward motion requirement.
And ends here with a front 1.5 twist.
Beautiful
Really
finish.
solid.
Very strong. So again, an uncharacteristic mistake, and I'm really glad that she's okay.
Me too.
You know, that is so scary when you see something like that. Your heart just goes out for the athletes, and I'm glad that she was okay and she was able to get up and finish. So
Yeah.
beam.
Looks like the trainer, she's going to do a once-over, make sure everything's okay. But it's a good sign that she was able to finish.
Yeah. And finished so well. It's impressive.
And we're taking a look at Haley Gibble over on beam. Beautiful front aerial walkover. Gives the judges a little smile. Love that, showing her off her confidence. Layout, step out again, and you could kind of see she was a little off on that landing, but fought to stay on. Nice weak combination there. And one of those difficult leaps where she takes her eyes off the beam, so she does lose where the beam is for a moment, but finishes strong with a cartwheel 1.5.
Great
Excited
landing.
with that. I like
Yeah.
it.
All right, here's my question.
I like how much she showed off that routine. Looked like she was having fun up there.
Take a look at that dismount.
It's hard to get height off the beam when you do a cartwheel instead of a round off, but she was able to get her chest up on the landing, find that landing, not have to take a step. And we have Gianna Gertis. Gianna's competing in the all-around tonight, so she will round it out with this floor routine.
She's gorgeous on this event. Her dance is impeccable. Really tells a story.
A nice front through to double back. Just opened up a little bit on that landing, kind of saw her pop up. Just have to absorb the floor a touch more. A great leaps, beautiful.
Double pike, very controlled, beautiful.
Her form is beautiful in that double pike. Straight legs, pointed toes.
All right, fans, rest up, take a seat, take a breath, get ready for the next floor routine.
Taking a look at that last pass. Watch the height and the set here. And the nice control on that landing. And we're back over to beam. Cassidy Rushlow. That back leg was slightly low on that split three-quarter. There will be a deduction there.
Looks like she's gonna go for this triple series. Never mind, only did the back handspring back layout. Slight wobble there on the landing.
You know, and it looked like she was a little off, and if she was gonna do a triple series, that's smart gymnastics. You know,
Right.
staying on the beam versus taking that fall. coaches do prepare these athletes to come up with a plan B in case they don't get their requirements, so they still have a routine to get up to that 10-0 start value.
Great landing. You see that she scoots her heels together, really capitalizes on that stick.
Coach fans, you know this now. It's like a church. Back on your feet.
And just a slight amount of leg form. Cassidy's season high is a 9.825. We'll see if she beats that. Probably not with that wobble on the series. And we have freshman Soraya Johnson. Soraya's also competing in the all-around tonight. Starts off with a big wolf 1.5.
And a front folder front half for her first tumbling pass. I believe this is her first time competing on floor in the sports pavilion. Is that correct? Besides the inner squad.
Yeah, I saw her at the inner squad. I believe so.
It's always fun to compete in your home gym. Especially on floor. You got the home crowd.
Big round off double back. Great routine.
Love that. Great routine from the freshman.
Let's watch this last pass one more time.
Watch that set and the height she gets. Skyrockets. And chest is so high on that landing. No way they're taken for that. And taking a look at Amani Earring over on the beam. It's a very unique skill. So it looks like that is a combination, so she'll have to go back and reattempt that skill.
Beautiful.
Side semi there. Very fun, unique skill you don't see often.
And getting set for that dismount.
And nails it, or as Caitlin likes to say, parked it.
Parked it.
Great routine for Penn State.
I like how her not, like, she had to repeat that first skill, but she was unfazed by
Didn't
that.
phase her, yeah.
And really solid scores for Penn State on the beam. We'll move over to the floor with Hallie Remlinger.
Starts off with a big tuck pull in. Very controlled, beautiful.
Hallie is so powerful in her tumbling. And in her dance.
She is. The full package.
finishes with a difficult double back. Perfect landing.
This is going to be a
Wow.
good score. This will be big for the Gophers.
That was
What is
great.
her season high?
Hallie's season high is a 9.95.
That might be close.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't any deduction in any of her landings.
Take a look at that huge
Her toes
double
are
tuck.
pointed.
Legs are together. Chest is high.
We'll see what the judges decide to reward that with.
And we're taking a look at the anchor for Penn State, Maddie Johnson.
Maddie is an all-arounder for Penn State. So she has had a busy night on all 4 events. Starts off her beam routine really well with that series. Does a sheep jump, doesn't quite throw her head back, so she doesn't lose sight of the beam.
Great anchor routine from
That was
Penn
great.
State. That was so solid. Barely any deductions. That's going to be a very good score for them.
Yeah, Maddie's season high is a 9.9. We'll see what the judges decide to reward that routine with as well. And the floor queen herself, Maya Hooten. Maya
She's collecting
loves,
tens.
Yeah, she loves to perform floor, loves to collect those tens.
Yes.
Great full in.
So much fun. So much personality out here on the floor. I love it. Beautiful lead. She's been really working on those,
Yeah.
honing it in. We know her tumbling is spectacular, and she's just really focused on her leaps and showing us these perfect tens. Talking about that technique again, so you saw that second flip right. Great technique from her on that.
Perfect landing. That was great.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
I think they might give it to her.
Yeah, there wasn't anything.
Yeah, I did not see any deduction. Her leaps even.
Yeah, she's so consistent on her tumbling, so it's almost like we know she's going to be great on her tumbling. And you have to be nitpicky on something, and so you're talking about the leaps.
Yeah.
And they were great.
Yeah, what's important too is that she finishes her leaps all the way around before she starts her next one. See her magnificent tumbling right here. Her last pass, toes are pointed, little curl there at the end. But perfect landing. I mean, can't get any better than that.
Nope, you can't.
And we have Bella Romagnano.
Very difficult pass. This is a front walkover step from aerial walkover to a back handspring layout step out. 3 combinations.
Great combination.
Skills together. Very difficult. Performed it well.
A little over rotated on that full turn.
It's a amazing how difficult sometimes that full turn is, you know.
Yeah, it's more of like a nervousness check for the gymnasts as anything, because they've been doing it for 10 years at least.
Probably more.
Probably more.
It's like one of
on
the very
beam.
first skills that you start learning on beam. Strong routine from her.
Yeah.
Attention back to floor. Make some noise for Tiare.
So it looks like the the judges did find somewhere that they deducted. So Maya did not get that 10. I am bummed. I thought she had it.
And we see senior Tiare Salas here in that exhibition routine.
Showing off her personality here with this choreography. I love to see it. Little backwards worm.
Love that.
On that, she didn't get that full height and rotation on that. So there might be a deduction on those leaps, but good routine from Tiare. And the scores are in for the Gophers on floor. They finished with a team total of 49-3, with the scores getting better as the athletes go.
Yeah.
Finishing off with high 9-9 and 9-9-5 from our last two athletes.
Great rotation. Of course, they got to drop that score from Emily Cook. Just 1/10 shy of their season best so far on floor, which is a 49-4. And Penn State's last competitor on the beam in that exhibition spot. And a good save on that side aerial.
That blind landing from a stag jump. Farmed it well. Her head could have gone back a little bit farther, but you saw she definitely took her eyes off that beam.
A nice gainer pike off the beam. Solid routine. And Penn State finishes off their beam night with a strong 48.975, just shy of that 49 mark.
Oh, so close.
Oh, so close, but really, really great showing. They looked confident, they looked calm. Like both teams have areas of improvement, but overall a strong night on that event.
And again, we're still so early in the season. So
Yeah. It's only the second or third meet for both of these teams. And first Big Ten matchup. We'll finish off the night here with Mallory Leneve. Very sharp leap pass.
Coach Rich Singer was able to step in and help her out just a little bit.
Yeah, when you're in that exhibition spot and you end with a double back, sometimes having a coach there at the end is a good decision, just so you can test out where your endurance is.
Correct.
And that wraps up our night full of Big Ten gymnastics. Strong showing for both of these teams and areas of improvement for both of these teams. And I'm sure they're going to be back in the gym working hard as ever to be ready for the next meet. And so Minnesota took home the win in this Big Ten matchup with a total of a 196-225, which is right in between their first two scores of the season, and Penn State with a 195-525.
And for our Penn State fans, they are bringing it home next week on Monday, January 30th, where they take on Rutgers for a dual meet. That is set to begin at 8 p.m. and it will be televised on the Big Ten Network. So you can definitely tune in to follow your favorite Penn State team.
Exciting. For Minnesota fans, their next meet is January 27th against the University of Iowa at Iowa. Tune back in on February 4th against the University of Illinois here back at the Sports Pavilion. Overall, very fun night of gymnastics. Big first big Big Ten matchup.
That play on words.
Whoa. For both teams this season. And you'll see both of these teams really get into the Big Ten regular season in the next few weeks. So
thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon, evening.
Yeah, great night.
Watching some gymnastics, collegiate gymnastics.
And we are signing off. Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor gymnasts from Legacy.
Let's hear it for Legacy. Gopher fans, following the conclusion of tonight's meet, select members of the Gopher Gymnastics team will be available for an autograph session. Please line up outside of section 106. Following the meet, posters will be available. You can see we are getting ready for Goldie's paper airplane run. Here's how it works. Fans, you're gonna have roughly 10 seconds to throw your paper airplane from the north side of the turf pavilion to the center of Goldie's nose in the middle of the target. The closest paper airplane to Goldie's nose will win a University of Minnesota branded prize pack. Fans, are you ready? Are you ready? Get set, go. Oh, keep them coming. Keep them coming. We got a few left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's our winner?
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing and all the
and our winner is 9-year-old Molly. Molly, you did it. Please make your way to the marketing table to claim your prize pack. As we clear out Goldie's paper airplane contest, we're going to ask our teams to reassemble on the floor exercise as we reveal the final results on the individual and team competition. Athletes, please reassemble on the floor exercise. Let's get a big round of applause for all of these amazing athletes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be reading the winner of each event in the event of a tie. I'll be reading both names. First in the vault competition, we have a two-way tie for first place, both with a 9.90, both from the University of Minnesota, Maya Hoop and Manny Carl. In the uneven bars, winning the event with a 9.925 for the Gophers, Maya Hoop. In the balance beam competition, we had no less than a three-way tie for first place. All with a 9.825 from Penn State, Amani Herring. Also from Penn State, Jessica Johansson. And for the Gophers, Sarah Mora. In the floor exercise, winning the event with a 9.950. For the Gophers, Maya Hoot. In the all-around competition, with a score of 39.250, your winner for the Gophers, Gianna Gertis. In the team competition, second place, with a 195.525, Penn State University, winning today's meet with a 196.225, your University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. The University of Minnesota would like to thank you for sharing your afternoon with us and your continued support of Gopher Gymnastics. Come watch your women's gymnastics team on Saturday, February 4th at 4 p.m. for our Big Ten matchup versus Illinois, right here in the Turret Pavilion. For tickets and more information, go to mygophersports.com. Thank you for attending today's meet. Have a safe drive home. We'll see you back here February 4th, and go Gophers!